Today, we're jumping right into a topic that's moving from the HR department straight to the boardroom: veteran mental health.
That's right. This isn't just about social responsibility anymore. We're talking about a core leadership mandate, a strategic conversation that, frankly, every executive needs to be having right now.
So, let's just ask the question straight up to every leader watching. You've got these fantastic veteran hiring initiatives, right? But are they actually built to last?
That's the real gut check, isn't it? Because success isn't just about getting them in the door. The real question is, what happens after day one?
And that really hits the nail on the head. So many companies have gotten really good at the recruitment piece of the puzzle.
Oh, absolutely. The recruitment game is strong. But what we're hearing and what the data shows is that the real leadership test, well, that kicks in the moment they're officially on the payroll.
This leads us to what many are now calling the post-hire leadership gap.
And it's such a tricky area because this is where great intentions often run into a wall. A lot of companies stumble here, and many don't even see it happening.
Look, nobody is saying leaders don't care. It's actually the opposite. Most employers genuinely want to do the right thing and support their veteran employees.
Of course, but simply wanting to help and having a strategy are two completely different things. Good intentions, on their own, don't create a real plan of action.
And when you dig into this gap, it really comes down to a handful of practical questions that leaders just don't have the answers to. Things like, how do I even spot the signs that someone on my team might need support? Exactly. Or what resources are actually out there? How do you even begin to navigate the VA system versus other community options? And here's the big one. How do you build a culture where people feel safe enough to actually raise their hand and ask for help? All that uncertainty, it just leads to inaction. Okay, so if that's the problem, how do we fix it? How do we finally get from just being aware of the issue to actually doing something about it?
That's the whole shift. It's about moving the entire conversation from talking about the what to focusing on the how we execute a real solution inside our own companies.
And that is where organizations like the Veteran-Owned Business Roundtable are really stepping up to lead the charge. They're putting together a strategic forum designed to do exactly that, to move past the usual talking points and get right to tangible, practical implementation. So let's get into the specifics here. The event is called the Veteran Mental Health and Employer Leadership Forum, hosted by the Veteran-Owned Business Roundtable, or VOBRT. Mark your calendars. It's happening Thursday, May 28th, 2026. It's a focused afternoon session, running from 1 to 5 p.m., dedicated entirely to this. You know, there's a line they're using to describe the forum that I think says it all. This is not just about awareness. It is about execution.
That is so clear and direct. It tells you everything you need to know. The goal isn't another round of talks. The goal is to equip leaders to go back to their organizations and actually execute a plan.
And they're really driving home the point that this is a working session, not your typical conference panel where you just sit and listen.
Exactly. This isn't a passive event. It's designed for leaders to roll up their sleeves, engage with the material, and walk away with a strategy they can start using the very next day.
And that focus on immediate application is really what it's all about. It leads directly to the key takeaway from this whole thing.
Right. It's not just about what happens in the room, it's about what you leave with. And they're being very specific about that deliverable. It's called the 30-Day Action Toolkit.
So what exactly is it? Well, every leader who attends is going to receive this exclusive veteran wellness resource guide and toolkit. You can think of it as a playbook, really. It's a structured framework that's designed to help you take everything you learned during the forum and turn it into real, meaningful action back at the office. And they are putting a specific time frame on it, 30 days. Why is that so important?
Because it's all about creating immediate momentum. The toolkit is built to give you clear, actionable steps your organization can take within 1 month. This isn't some 5-year plan that's just going to collect dust on a shelf.
So all of this really builds up to a very clear call to action. But it's important to note, it's a very specific one.
Yeah, this isn't for just anyone. This is a call for the leaders who are actually in a position to drive real change within their organizations.
So who exactly should be in that room? We're talking about your corporate leaders and executive sponsors, the people with the authority and the budget to make things happen.
For sure. But also the HR and talent teams who manage the day-to-day, the supplier diversity leaders, and crucially, the leaders of the veteran employee resource groups who are on the front lines every day.
And when you boil it all down, that's what this is about. It's a direct challenge, absolutely, but it's also a huge opportunity for leaders to finally get ahead of this.
Exactly. It's a chance to get the clarity and, more importantly, the tools needed to build a workplace where veteran employees don't just work, they genuinely thrive.
So for those leaders who are ready to make that jump from awareness to execution, the next step is pretty simple. You can learn more and get registered at veteranroundtable.org/mental health.
At the end of the day, this is more than just an event. It's a call to leadership. And the only question left is, who's going to answer it?